What's up, y'all? It's your girl Sakina, and I'm back with another review. This is my review for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. This is season 6, episode 13. I am not on camera yet again because I simply look crusty. All yesterday, I was in bed, and I'm just trying to preserve my energy until later when I meet up with some friends. So, yeah, I know this review is extremely late, and that's because I really forgot about it. It seemed like I had a lot going on this week. We got a puppy this week. I had an event to go to on Friday. I had a ride along to go on Friday. And just a lot of that stuff kind of was clouding my mind. So I totally forgot about Salt Lake. So that's the reason why it's so late. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. So the ladies are preparing to go to Greece. Angie is taking the ladies on a trip because we know that she is working on being a dual citizen. So I found it funny that they have 2 international trips on Salt Lake, but Potomac only has 1. So they got their international trip earlier in the season, and then they're going to Colorado as their second trip with Angel, whereas Salt Lake got 2 international trips. But anyway, outside of that, yes, they're going. So Angie invites Mary and Heather over to learn some Greek words. Her parents are there, and, they're having a good time. So all the ladies get to the airport. They fly off to Greece, and I seen that once they got there, did y'all notice that Brittany had a stuffed animal in her bag? If she has that damn voiceover of Jared in a stuffed animal, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be very annoyed. But whatever. So they all go to dinner, and we see that Heather gets a new watch, and so she's sharing with the table this new watch that she has. The purpose of her buying the watch stemmed from a conversation that Lisa and Angie had during a layover. They had an argument about Cartier watches and how they think that they're copying each other. It went into this whole thing where they actually started arguing at the table on who wore Cartier the longest. Angie was like, baby, I had Cartier way before you, or way before she thought of her, whatever the case may be. They showed a flashback of her on Facebook in 2016 sporting a Cartier watch. They then get into who had a Porsche first. Angie said she had 5. Lisa said she's had 4. Like, they was trying to one-up each other. It was just all this extra stuff. And I'm like, oh, my goodness. Mary is like, bitch, Cartier is for old bitches. But you know what? We ain't no spring chickens anyway. So, hey, it's fitting. I just don't understand, y'all. I don't understand. It's not that serious. It's not that deep at all. But they so hell-bent on, one-upping each other. It just is what it is. And Heather, bitch, that's rich bitch shit. She seen a Cartier, excuse me, she seen a Cartier store at the airport and was like, you know what, bitch, since they sitting here arguing, I'm about to go buy me one. Not only did she buy her one, but she bought Whitney one too. She said it was basically like a 2-for-1 type of deal. So she bought Whitney one. So here they are at the table flashing their Cartier watches that they done bought for $6,000. I said, all right, shit. If you got it, flaunt it, bitch. I'm not mad. Even though I know she was doing that to ruffle Lisa's feathers. And she was like, I know she playing it cool at this table, but I know it's in her up inside. Heather, why are you trying to get under your friend's skin? Yeah, that's not necessary. Lisa was like, I like to scroll in the bathtub and look for unique pieces and all of this. Heather said, bitch, that's Meredith thing. So now all of a sudden you like bath water too? You like bathtubs too? All right, it's a whole lot of Mr. Me Too shit going on at this table, but they didn't let it get too far. Like, they didn't start arguing about it too long. So it was what it was, child. Moving on. Now they get ready to go to the beach, which was really nice. They had black sand. It was really nice. The water is so blue. It's just so scenic. But Heather is still upset with Meredith because Meredith called her a liar. And she was like, yeah, Brittany may have forgiven you, but I ain't gotten over it. I do feel like, girl, you need to just get over it at the end of the day, because it didn't happen to you. I understand that you didn't rock with the way that she showed her ass. Yeah, like, be on the cautious side of things. But when it really comes down to it, it wasn't your issue to keep harping on. So just, she called you a liar. All right, you not really feeling her. That's fine. But, like, I wouldn't be to the point where I'm still, like, that's still on the forefront of my mind. And we know that Whitney isn't fooling with Broadway all like that, because she telling her secrets, and I'm using air quotes, because, girl, that wasn't no secret how you felt about Meredith. At the end of the day, I was with Bronwyn. If you don't feel comfortable knowing with Meredith knowing what you said, then you shouldn't have said it, period. And you said it on TV, so she was gonna figure it out eventually. But outside of that, they are on their way to the beach, and Meredith is like, yeah, we need to have a conversation. Apparently, Meredith had been trying to talk to Heather even before the trip, but Heather wasn't having it. Again, Heather, get the fuck over it. You were still hanging with Jen, and she bopped you in your motherfucking eye. So it's like, I don't understand why you trying to hold on to this so damn much, especially when it didn't affect you directly. Like, yes, I understand they was kind of on your ass too for trying to stick up for Brittany on a plane and all of that, but, girl, you've gotten worse done to you. Move the hell on. So they're on the beach, and Angie pulls out this Greek bucket hat, and they like, girl, look, you ruining your outfit with that. Take that off. This is what Mary is telling her. And so then she goes to Bronwyn and was like, Bronwyn, let me see your face. Like, take your hat off. Let me see your face. Bronwyn turns around and shows Mary her face, and she was like, oh, you got a bucket head. Heather, you got one too. I ain't never heard of no damn bucket head. And then Heather gonna say, well, it's a step up from a butterhead, but it's a bucket that you puke in afterwards. And so in her confessional, Mary is going down the list of head shapes, oblong, square. She said square is for, like, dumb people, in the camera pan to Brittany, bitch. It be the little shit. Like, stop fucking playing. Bronwyn has very weirdo behavior, and I can't stand that shit, because Angie is asking the ladies, have they, seen any of the Greek guys that they like? Because when they were on the Sprinter on the way to the hotel, Heather was saying all these things that she wanted to do, talking about the men in Greece, and leaving Greece with a man's number and all of that. So Angie is doing the check-in at the table, which I think about the Greek men. Heather says she liked this man on a damn pink flamingo in the ocean. Girl, okay. So then Angie is like, Bronwyn, like, do you plan on finding you a Greek man while you out here, since you went tired, doing a little open marriage thing? Just talking shit, you know what I'm saying? And Bronwyn is like, no, we're not doing that. I'm actually really happy with Todd. We are in a good space. Like, on her Ashley Darby shit, like I said before. Just trying to sell this story that her and Todd are really in a good place. They're monogamous. And there's no open marriage. He's fine with that. Girl, how you go from the last time they seen you talking about how he had to get out the house because he was looking at women on his phone, and how you want to evolve with him. Remember, this was your words. You want to evolve with him. And if that means an open marriage, then you'll be open to that. So now all of a sudden you trying to gaslight the ladies and make it seem like that wasn't that, because Heather had to step in and was like, girl, the last time we talked to you, you were saying that you was okay with having an open marriage and all of that, and he had to get out and stuff. And even Mary had to chime in like, girl, you can't give us that information, confided us, and then the next time we see you, you're telling us a different story and acting like none of this ever happened. Even Whitney was like, yeah. No, I think Heather pointed out the fact that Whitney said that she wasn't wearing her jewelry. She wasn't wearing her ring. Brahma had the fucking nerve to say, I mean, I wear different jewelry every day. You might have put you might have did the math and it came up to 2 + 2 = 5. bitch, you not about to sit here and play on my intelligence like that. Like, that will piss me off. Everybody is looking at her like, girl, what? You're fucking weird. So then Meredith chimes in. I wasn't there when you said it, but, just know that this is not going to be the end of it with this group based on my experience. Shut the fuck up, Meredith. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you. You're a forever victim in the situation. You're not a fucking victim. Shut the fuck up. At the end of the day, yes, Bronwyn gave us 2 scenes where she was 3 actually. One with Whitney, one with the group, and then one with Todd, where she was talking about having an open marriage and evolving with this man. Suddenly, she gets to Greece and she wants to try to make it seem like none of that ever fucking happened and that the ladies are making this up and putting 20 on 10. No, you wasn't there, Meredith, so that's why you need to shut the hell up. And yes, I'm aware at this point that Bronwyn and Todd are separating. All of the Todds of the Bravo universe are leaving their women. Not leaving their women, but you know what I'm saying. The women are leaving the Todds. I mean, have at it. We already seen it coming. I'm not surprised. I really don't even give a fuck. Girl, get your money and get the hell on, because it was very obvious where this was going. So they're getting ready to go to dinner. And Heather comes into Mary's room. I thought they were going to talk about the whole Bronwyn thing because, yeah, what the fuck was that? But no, she wanted to talk about how Meredith wants to have a conversation with Heather, but Heather really isn't interested because she feels like Meredith disengages. She kind of like leaves it where it is and doesn't really want to have a real conversation. She said that she's not interested in having a one-on-one conversation with Meredith because she doesn't want things to be twisted into whatever narrative Meredith wants it to be. And I understand that because, yes, Meredith is another gaslighter. At this point, it's her, it's Bronwyn, Lisa just be lying. So, yeah, like, I understand why you don't want to have that one-on-one conversation, because if y'all do talk about it amongst the group, then it's going to be your word versus hers, but we already know how Meredith gets down. So, understandable. But Mary was like, girl, just be honest. Like, that's y'all's problem. She said in her confessional that she was raised to be honest and not really, too much care, not necessarily not care about people's feelings, but, just say how the hell you feel and go from there. And that's what they do need to do. You're not interested in having a conversation with Meredith. I mean, a conversation needs to be had, but yeah, have it in front of the group so it won't be twist and turn. They end up walking to whatever restaurant they were going to, but before they got there or before they left the house, Lisa is the only one not ready because she's getting glammed up. She had glam come in to do her makeup and stuff. We already know how Lisa does. Like, hey, I understand you on camera. You always want to look your best, but at the same time, I'm not mad at them for leaving her because don't nobody got time for that. And everybody looks good makeup-wise, so I don't know if they're all doing their own makeup. If they got glam too, I don't know what it is. But they end up walking to the spot. On their way there, Whitney slips almost down this damn hill. This man had to come and help her. Brittany was helping her too. I'm like, oh my gosh, what the hell? It was weird because Bronwyn and Angie kept walking. Like, damn, y'all not gonna stop and help her? So they go shopping to some stores and stuff. And I don't know why I thought they were going out to eat. Side note, I hate Whitney's outfit. Like, what the fuck is that, girl? Absolutely not. But they go shopping around some stores, and there's this visual of them walking into the store, and you can see the ocean in the background. Oh my gosh. And then they end up going out of the store and just seeing the city lit up at night. And as like the sun is obviously down at this point, but it's not fully nighttime. Is that dawn? Is that dawn? I don't know. Anyway, the ocean is just illuminating. It's just so vibrantly blue, and it's just beautiful to look at. And Angie is like, Heather is the type of friend that you want to take on trips like this because they appreciate it. And I'm like that too. Anytime that I'm away from home, if I'm somewhere that I've never been, I definitely take it in and I appreciate it for what it is. I like to see where I'm at. I like to just appreciate the beauty, the nature of it. So I would be the exact same way, because I think Whitney and Heather got emotional about it. Yeah, I definitely would be extremely appreciative to be wherever I am. Lisa finally gets to the shops with them. She said she was walking all around or whatever. Listen, at the end of the day, you was late, so it is what it is. Nobody give a damn. You wanted glam, have at it, girl, but just know that nobody's gonna sit around and wait on you, period. So they get to dinner, and before then, Meredith talks to Heather. Well, no, Meredith speaks to Mary about Heather, and she said that she has tried to reach out to her before the trip and all of this stuff. So she ends up giving her this this evil eye necklace or whatever it is. So when they get to dinner, Meredith places it on Heather's where Heather is sitting. And Heather looking at it like, oh, okay, I mean, it's nice or whatever, but she feel like it's one of those things where a man does a woman wrong and thinks that he can just bypass the situation by giving her a gift. That's how she feels about it. So she really I didn't hear her say thank you. I'm like, hold on, wait, girl, give me my shit back if you're going to act like that. But Mary is like, okay, are y'all good? Like, what's going on? And so Heather is like, I don't like the fact that you call me a liar. Meredith is like, I tried to talk to you about this before the trip. I even called you this morning. This is not something I want to do with the group here. And Meredith says she don't want to do it in a group because she feels like that's Heather's way of getting the girls against her. I see why she thinks that, but I feel where Heather is coming from again. Like, you gonna flip and remix the situation and try to make it seem like what we discussed really wasn't what it was. So they end up having, somewhat of the conversation at the table. And Heather is like, I don't like the fact that you question my loyalty. You called me a liar. Of course, Meredith is denying this. So then Lisa chimes in. It was like, you can't be hypocritical. You want a friendship to be a certain way. Well, you ain't even, that type of friend. And I see where Lisa is coming from, because it is kind of like you have these expectations for your friends in this particular situation, Meredith, but let's not forget you did flip the script on Lisa on that yacht. Like, I wasn't necessarily mad at Heather for, doing what she did, because I feel like Lisa has no loyalty to anyone. But the fact still remains that Heather did flip the script. So it's like, you're not being the friend that you want the other girls to be to you. And I can kind of see Lisa's standpoint when it comes down to it, because it goes back to the beginning of the episode with the whole Cartier thing. It's like you're trying to provoke her. And again, I said that it's not necessary, but it's also like, what is your point? If this is your friend, why are you gunning for her like this? It's weird. So they keep going on and on about it, and Meredith is just denying the situation. She doesn't feel like she has done anything wrong. She apologized to Heather. Heather apologized to her. So she's like, why are we even having this conversation? But if that's the case, Meredith, you wouldn't have tried to give her a peace offering. If you were that content on where y'all were, you wouldn't be trying to ask kids. At the end of the day, you know that you were still wrong about, how you showed your ass on that plane and how you treated Heather at the Boston Tea Party makeup situation, whatever the fuck, peace treaty, whatever you want to call it. Heather says that Meredith has selective outrage. Of course, Meredith doesn't agree with that, but I feel like she does have selective outrage because, I mean, girl, okay, you sat there and clung on to that whole TikTok thing with Brittany to the point where you showed your ass on a flight and risked your flight abilities. Girl, please. But Heather is just in her feelings. And it's like, I don't really understand what you want out of Meredith. And then Lisa chimes in. I mean, obviously she wants Meredith to take accountability, but it's not going to happen. So at this point, just move on. So Lisa chimes in and was like, I feel like you're the judge in jewelry, but you're not always the best friend. Look at how you treated me when they went out to eat after Mary's sermon. And Heather ends up apologizing, and they both get emotional, and Lisa's like, that, my experience wasn't yours and all this. I'm like, girl, what are you getting emotional about? And then you see Whitney at the end of the table. She's getting emotional too. Whitney, what the fuck is you crying about? Like, I don't understand. So then Whitney pipes up and was like, I feel like they're paying, that the rest of the women are paying the ultimate price for what Meredith did on the plane. What the fuck are you talking about, Whitney? And she was like, I'm looking at this group. Basically, the group is affected by what Meredith has done on the plane. I'm like, I'm looking at the group. I'm looking at the table. The only people that are arguing is Meredith, Lisa, and Heather. This is not one of those chaotic scenes where all of the girls are arguing and shit. It's just 3 people airing out their grievances. What are you talking about? You're bringing all of this on to Meredith, and I do feel like at this point, Whitney, you're putting 20 on 10. You are. Because the group is not stuck on this as much as you and Heather are. Brittany has forgiven Meredith, and she moved on. Brittany even said in her confessional, like, yeah, me and Meredith, we moved on past this, but she does think that Meredith owes Heather and Whitney an apology. Okay. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know. Whitney, please. And Meredith said in her confessional, Whitney is the actual imposter, and that she gets a pass because she's always on some type of healing journey. Yes, I agree. I agree with Meredith when it comes down to that. Whitney, shut the fuck up. Shut up. I don't understand why you crying. I don't understand why you trying to make this situation bigger than what it is. Girl, you need to go do whatever the hell you need. Heal, whatever the fuck it is. Take your anger out on Justin, because at this point, I know you still cannot be mad at Meredith, especially when Brittany has already forgiven her. And I said the same thing about Heather. Y'all need to figure something out and move the hell on, because at this point, it's giving redundant. And by next week, I don't want to keep talking about how Meredith was showing her ass on that plane. Let's talk about something else. But anyway, Meredith ends up getting up from the table. Lisa follows her, and it leaves Heather to feel like she's going to be the one apologizing in the end, and she ends up feeling worse than she actually came. So, I mean, I don't know, y'all. Listen, they better figure something out before I lose interest. But this was a filler episode to me. Let's get down in the comments and talk. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.